Dubious Ones, welcome back to the channel for some more all-in reviews. But before we get to that, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and leave me your comments on this match down below. Now, let's get to the next one. We are talking MJF, the American Champion, defending against Will the Billy Goat Ospreay, our aerial assassin. One of the most hyped matches going into All In, one that many expected to most likely steal the show. But let's get right into it. So they start out with an absolutely beautiful Assassin's Creed style vignette about Will Ospreay, showing his journey to AEW and his pitfalls leading to this match, then advertising Assassin's Creed release date on the banners of his entrance. This, in my opinion, was probably one of the best, if not the best, sponsorship tie-ins that we've ever seen in all of pro wrestling history. Definitely in AEW's history. I thought this was really well done. It fit really well with Will Ospreay, obviously being the aerial assassin, the gear, the everything like this fit him so well. But then we got Will Ospreay's music finally hits, and then the crowd loses their mind, singing Ospreay, 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 Ospreay. Then proceeding to sing his entire entrance theme. This man is an absolute superstar, especially in front of this hometown crowd. MJF's music hits, and the fans all boo like crazy, but then immediately begin to sing his theme song and serenade him to the ring. MJF comes out looking like as if the 4th of July had just thrown up all over him. And he's as over the top as you could possibly imagine in his gear tonight, complete with the giant American flag coming down with his face as the stars on the flag. And then he gets streamers that blow up all around the production area and then on the rafters and everything, the staging up above. So much so that we had red, white, and blue streamers for the rest of the night. Not just through this match hanging down, but in every match following this, they were just stuck up there for the rest of the night. It was actually kind of funny. Anytime they panned to a wide shot of the crowd, you would see those red, white, and blue streamers from the MJF entrance. Anyways, he gets booed out of the building when the American flag drops. They start the match in a slugfest, and MJF gets the early advantage as he pokes Ospreay in the eyes. The streamers, again, dangling over the ring, looking hilarious. MJF holds the advantage for the early stages of the match, egging on the crowd by teasing a kangaroo kick. The fans then boo him vociferously for this. Ospreay starts hitting some offense, hits springboard forearm, AJ Styles style, and then tries to do more Ospreay things when MJF reverses him. MJF flips off the crowd, then does a ravishing Rick Rude / Val Venus taunt, the whole hello ladies taunt. Ospreay then hits him with a handspring corkscrew kick for a 2 count. Fans are really behind Ospreay at this point, chanting his name in unison. Ospreay knocks MJF out of the ring and goes for a Sasuke special, but MJF manages to kind of catch him, holds on to him, regains his balance, and turns it into a tombstone piledriver on the outside of the ring. Absolutely incredible stuff. MJF then taunts Ospreay by saying, "Anyone can flip, you piece of shit," then goes off for a springboard moonsault to the outside. Ospreay avoids it, but MJF lands on his feet and then runs at Ospreay, only to be hit with a Spanish fly on the outside. Ospreay lays MJF over the top rope and then climbs to the top rope and hits a shooting star press to his back, only to get a 2 count. Incredible spot, looked really good. The fans at this point are having dueling chants of "Let's go Ospreay, MJF. Let's go Ospreay, MJF." Which really surprised me in London that MJF was getting some love in this match. Really big shocker for me. I mean, I understand he's a huge star, but he has been playing up the heel role, the Ultra American, just for this moment and still getting chants. Did kind of surprise me, but it was great. MJF then hits Ospreay with a crossroads for a close 2 count. Ospreay then reverses MJF's brainbuster into a stun dog millionaire, then hits an Os cutter for a 2 count. Ospreay hits some kicks and then jumps to the top rope for another Os cutter, but MJF gets his foot on the ropes on this cover. MJF fakes a knee injury and then spikes Ospreay with a devastating pile driver, Ospreay does his best Rob Van Dam sell on that one. An RVD sell as it looked crazy as he just kind of springed from his head back down just like RVD did back in the day when I think he was being pile driven by Tommy Dreamer. Either way, nobody have I ever seen but RVD take a pile driver like that until now. Ospreay did him proud 100%. Ospreay then reverses a clothesline into a Stormbreaker, only gets a 2 count. MJF rolls to the apron and Ospreay goes for an Os Cutter but misses on the apron. Then MJF hits a brutal Panama Sunrise on the apron. MJF tells the ref to start counting as Ospreay barely makes it in at the very end of the 9 count from the outside. Ospreay gets back on offense and teases a hidden blade on the outside when teases a hidden blade when MJF rolls outside the ring, but when he goes to hit it, they were on the outside and Ospreay was behind MJF and he tried hitting a hidden blade, but MJF, even though he had his back to Ospreay, managed to duck, and then Ospreay took out one of the cameramen, which was an incredible spot. Whatever indie wrestler, local wrestler they had playing the cameraman for that, took a brutal shot right to the face while holding the camera. Looked incredible, but MJF, while the ref and Ospreay were distracted, grabs the American Championship. Ospreay gets back in the ring, but manages to duck the belt shot, then hits him with a kick, one of those cheeky, not a cheeky Nando's kick, but he does the reverse kick to the face. Then he tries setting up for the hidden blade, but MJF, as he's going for the hidden blade in the ring, manages to smash him with the belt instead, and then he throws the belt outside the ring. Then when the ref turns around, MJF gets a long 2 count. The fans really pop big for this, definitely bid on that false finish. MJF immediately picks Ospreay up and then hits the brainbuster, and the fans really bite on this one even more as Ospreay manages to kick out again just before the 3 count. MJF tries to go for a hidden blade of his own, but Ospreay manages to duck that. MJF almost hits the ref, but stops himself, but then Ospreay comes in and nails MJF in the back, which knocks him into the ref. That knocks Bryce Remsburg right out of the ring. MJF then sets Ospreay up for a Tiger Driver, but Ospreay reverses, then goes for his own. The crowd pops, but Ospreay hesitated for a little bit too long, and then MJF just drops down, hits him with the low blow, and MJF then pulls something out of his trunks wrapped in tape. It looked like brass knuckles, but it was wrapped in tape. It was kind of weird. It looked like he just kind of had a weird tape object he put around his hands. Either way, he had a foreign object that looked kind of like brass knuckles taped up. But as he winds up to smash Ospreay, someone dressed in all black that looked like one of the ninjas from Ospreay's entrance, from the Assassin's Creed entrance, looked like one of those guys, but had a full black hood and everything covering his face. And then he grabs MJF's arm, and then decks MJF. MJF staring up at him. The ninja guy pulls off his mask, and who is it but none other than Daniel Garcia. So it looks like Danny has re-signed with AEW, as with most likely he would have been left off of TV if he wasn't re-signing. That was kind of why they did the injury angle, and if not, setting up this feud with MJF for the future if he did re-sign. So definitely looks like we've got Daniel Garcia back in AEW. And while MJF was distracted, staring at Daniel Garcia, this gives Ospreay time to recover, remove the elbow pad, smokes MJF with the hidden blade. The ref is still down on the outside, so Ospreay sets MJF up for the Tiger Driver 98. The crowd goes absolutely insane, and Ospreay finally hits the Tiger Driver 98 and stacks MJ up for the pin for what seemed like an 8 count, as the ref was very slow to get back in the ring after the Tiger Driver and finally count the 3, and it was even a slow count to 3 at that, so it seemed like an 8 or a 9 count, but the fans absolutely erupt. Justin Roberts announces him as the new American champion, but as the ref goes to hand Ospreay the title, he doesn't want to even touch it. He doesn't want to touch that American title. Not in Wembley. He doesn't think so. So Christopher Daniels gets in the ring and unveils the newly crowned, the International Championship, or the old International Championship, and hands that to Will Ospreay. And then Justin Roberts then does the announcement again, this time as the new International Champion. He raises the belt high. Pyro goes off across the arena. and everybody goes home happy with this one. Very, very fun match. Fans were electric for it. I definitely enjoyed it myself. I think I enjoyed their first match, the 60-minute almost draw where MJF won. I think I might have actually enjoyed that a little bit better personally. But that might have been because I kept having to pause this one to take notes for the match. Either way, it was a really solid match, and the fans got to celebrate their hometown boy in Will Ospreay. So I give this match a solid 7.5 out of 10. It definitely wasn't my favorite Will Ospreay or favorite MJF match for that matter, but it was definitely fun and exciting, and it did everything that it needed to do. So for me, I definitely really enjoyed this match, thought it was a solid match, but for me, I think the first one, I thought maybe it's because it's the first time they faced, maybe it meant a little more, but I thought the first match a little bit better than this one, just my opinion, but again, this crowd did make this one absolutely phenomenal. The crowd made a huge difference in this one, definitely still enjoyed the match, definitely thought it was still a great match. But I want to hear from you guys. What was your thoughts on the match? Did you think this match stole the show? At this point, this was one of my favorites. This and the women's title match between Toni Storm and Mariah May. Those would probably be my top two up to this point in the show. But I want to hear from you guys. What did you think? Let me know. Sound off in the comments. And stay tuned as I will be posting my final reviews on the final few matches from All In on the channel later today and tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, and I will catch you all in the next one. Dubious Ones, until the next one. Deuces.